What were the causes of the March Revolution in 1917? Firstly, there was the war. The effect of the war on the soldiers was crucial. There were disastrous defeats in 1914, such as at the battles of Tannenberg and the Masurian Lakes, and by the end of that year over 1 million men had been killed in such fighting. Poor organisation and poor leadership meant that many soldiers had no weapons, no ammunition, no boots and no food. Obviously, morale in the army plummeted. This fed through to the effects of the war on the Russian people at home. Hundreds of thousands of peasants were being conscripted into the army, and so food was short, and therefore prices rose. Food, coal and fuel was used for the army, so people in the cities were again hungry and cold. Industrial materials were sent to the war effort, so other factories were closed, and therefore people lost their jobs. Added on to this was the huge number of casualties, so that most people knew someone killed in the disastrous war. All this made people lose confidence in the government. This was furthered in September 1915, when the Tsar made a crucial mistake by going to the front line to take personal control. Nicholas himself was now personally blamed for defeats, whereas beforehand people blamed his generals. The Tsarina, a German who many people thought was a spy, ruled in his place from Petrograd, with Rasputin in the shadows. The Tsarina fired competent ministers and replaced them with her friends or those who were friends with Rasputin. This all meant that the system that organised the supply of food, fuel and the railways all fell apart. The middle and upper classes blamed the Tsar for letting it all happen. So after a particularly harsh winter in 1916, in March of 1917, on the 7th, 40,000 workers from the Putilov engineering works went on strike. The next day, on International Women's Day, thousands of women joined them on the streets. Rozienko, the leader of the Duma, told the Tsar that there was a crisis, but Nicholas did not take any notice of him. On the 12th, and this is important, soldiers in Petrograd refused to shoot the protesters and joined the demonstrations after shooting their officers. In contrast to the 1905 revolution, the army was not staying loyal to the Tsar. On the 15th, the Tsar, who had tried to get back to Petrograd but had his way blocked by railway workers, abdicated. He made the choice. If he couldn't rule as an autocrat, and he wouldn't pass on the throne to his son, he wouldn't rule at all. The revolution had succeeded.